Yo, what's the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to a very special Raider Nation Unlimited featuring Wasted Talent, man. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is not a normal Raider Nation Unlimited, everybody. This is a very special Raider Nation Unlimited. This isn't like an 80s sitcom where, the Arnold and Dudley episode. It's nothing weird like that. This is about something that, I'm going to be honest with you, man, a space that, I wanted to put more energy into. That's the fantasy football space. Guys, we're going to be doing a lot more of that this year over on Raider Nation Unlimited. This is an off news night. This is the first week of the season, everybody. And, some of my fantasy junkies out there want to give you guys a little information and not affirmation. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to my guy T Nipple finishing his homework. Oh my God. Salute to you, man. For once in your life, you're actually doing your homework. My guy Sally Mitchell's in the place, man. Daniel Schmidt is in the place. Pillaging just for fun is in the place to be, man. John B is in the place as well. Salute to everybody on Twitter, too, if you guys are watching over there on Twitter. This is not the normal content that we have over here, but we will be getting into fantasy football stuff. So listen, Hug D's and a couple of guys in the chat sent me their fantasy teams. Guys, we got over 100 in the room, so now we can cook. What I want you guys to do, if you guys want us to rate your fantasy team, send it to my inbox on Instagram, at Wasted Talent Raiders. We're going to take a look at your fantasy roster. I'm going to give you guys some of my sleeper picks this year. We're going to go over the top guys if you haven't had your draft yet. Most people have had their drafts already. There's some people who do daily fantasy, right? And what I wanted to do is in PPR leagues, I want to give you guys my number one guys, right? My number one guys for this year. The number one player off the board this year for me in most leagues, owned in 100% of leagues all over, fantasy football is Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase was an absolute beast. He was a Triple Crown winner last year. He led yards, touchdowns, catches, absolute yak monster. I mean, wide receivers in PPR leagues, which is point per reception, if you don't know, are very valuable because they rack up the yards, they rack up the touchdowns because the NFL is a throwing league, and they rack up the points with the catches. My second guy is Bijan Robinson because he is a double threat. He is equally as dangerous out of the backfield catching the football and running. I mean, Bijan Robinson had kind of a breakout year last year with the Atlanta Falcons. And, this is a guy that I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have him projected to have over 1,400 yards, 11 rushing TDs, and about 450 receiving yards. Like his usage rate was through the roof last year. His efficiency metrics is 13th in rushing yards over expected yards per attempt, 25th in yards after contact, 17th in missed tackles and force per attempt, and second in Pro Football Focus's rushing grade. So, this is a guy who was super, super productive last year, man. And he's played in all 34 games across his first two NFL seasons, so he has not really been injured. The only one notable injury he had was in 2021. We had dislocated the elbow that cost him the final two games when he was in college. So, listen, man. My third guy, and a lot of guys might probably say is the number one guy, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was a monster last year. To me, was the number one player all across the NFL. Should have been freaking league MVP if you ask me, man. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Cold Blooded. We got over 136 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Yeah, that's right, One Nation. We are always busy, man. My guy, Antonio Avila. I'm excited for the new season for us. Go Raiders, man. Listen, Bodega Wasted, you got to get the F up out of here. Get out of here. You to the gulags again. Send your fantasy football rosters. Send it to my Instagram inbox. Wasted Talent Raiders at over there at Instagram. Some of you guys that are in the room might not know who I am. My name is Wasted Talent. I am a content creator for the Las Vegas Raiders, but we do dabble in fantasy football from time to time, right? We have another channel. It is called Game Day Gurus, right? So what I want you guys to do is, if you guys would be so kind, go on over there, hit that subscribe button to Game Day Gurus. We're going to be touching on, fantasy football. We're going to be putting up some content every other day when it comes to prop bets, fantasy, all of that stuff, daily fantasy, gambling, everything. So this is a space that we're trying to cultivate that audience. Yeah, but like I said before, Bijan Robinson is definitely a guy that is going to eat this year. Bijan Robinson is my second guy. Saquon Barkley is my third guy, and my top guys in fantasy football. Fourth, and I know a lot of people are gonna laugh, but CeeDee Lamb is going to show up and show out this year. Now, CeeDee Lamb, when you start talking about a guy that is going to really, really eat, is him, because of the fact that you're gonna have a healthy Dak Prescott. I know that there is another guy in that passing offense that is going to kind of take away from maybe some of his touches in George Pickens, but I think that George Pickens is going to open things up even more for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is my number 4 top guy if you guys are picking in the top 5 of your league. And my 5th guy is a person that's going to have to resurrect his career, but I have a lot of faith in this kid, man. Christian McCaffrey, man. Christian McCaffrey is another dual threat yak monster, man. Run after the catch. He is pretty much going to be the San Francisco 49ers entire offense. This guy is, and when you look at Christian McCaffrey, man, I got to get you guys, some of my metrics for this year. Christian McCaffrey is a guy that, I have at, 117 yards a game, 10 rushing touchdowns, 570 yards receiving. This is a guy that, man, over the past 2 years, he's shown us that, his vaulted ceiling and his terrifying floor could be a thing, right? Because he has been a guy that's been injured. Now, the closer he gets to the season with no injuries, man, you got to expect to get the same guy that you got a few years ago. But this guy is worth trusting for me if I'm in a PPR league, because even if Christian McCaffrey doesn't reach those lofty stats running the football, he is a threat out of the backfield to catch the ball. He's worth a first round pick. He's worth a top 5 pick. He's always been that, right? And listen, you'd rather get a Christian McCaffrey and get that boom or bust season. See, a lot of times in fantasy football, sometimes you got to take the road less traveled when you're talking about some of these guys who have had injuries. Now, McCaffrey's missed large chunks of seasons. He missed 13 games in 2020. He missed 10 in 2021. He didn't miss a game the other 3 campaigns. He played 33 of a possible 34 regular season games between 2022 and 2023. And the only game he missed came in week 17, where they kind of sent him and they played the backups. Now, McCaffrey, returned to the field, and there have been people around the organization such as John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they're ranting and raving about how he's looking. They say he looks bouncy, he looks explosive, and everybody knows that Christian McCaffrey is a workhorse, right? Now, in case you forgot, man, he is a guy that had a historic year a few years ago. He not only led in running back scores in 2023, he tallied 3.3 more PPR points than the number 2 back, which was Kyron Williams. You know what I mean? And he blasted Raheem Mostert beyond that point by 6.7 points. So he has definitely been a bell cow that carries a lot of people's fantasy teams, right? Now, when you start talking about, fantasy football structure, when you talk about PPR leagues, running backs and wide receivers are the ones that rank the highest. Now, what I've always done in my leagues is I've gone, wide receiver, running back, based off of how the board falls to me, man. Salute to everybody in the place. Where do I have Josh Jacobs? I got Josh Jacobs as my 6th running back this year. I have Derrick Henry still over Josh Jacobs as well. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to my guy Graf for the place to be, man. Shout out, man. Yeah, that's right, Bodega Waste. You watch your mouth. You don't start the show off with that crap. Gulags you go. Garrett Wilson's underrated. He's one, yo, he is a guy that I have rated very, very highly. Stay tuned. Don't you jump the line, pig. Salute to everybody in the chat. My guy Kick Nuts is in the place, man. So, guys, do me a favor, man. I'm about to look inside of my inbox for Instagram. If you guys have sent your fantasy football rosters, my guy Robert Cisneros, he said, "Can I rate your squad?" I got you, bro. I'm gonna rate your squad. Robert Cisneros, John Corrigan said his. Yo, my guy Efren sent his, man. So, guys, look, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my inbox on the gram, and what we're gonna do is I am going to go over there and I'm gonna put up some of these. We're gonna go over some of our counterparts, fantasy rosters, man. This should be really fun, man. This is something I really enjoy, man. So this is a keeper league, right? This is a keeper league. It's my guy Efren right here, man. Salute to my guy Efren. Hold on, guys. You know, I gotta put this up. Present. Boom, boom, boom. Share screen. There we go, man. So we got this is the bottom half of Efren's roster. We got Matthew Golden, Chris Olave, Dylan Sampson. That's a solid pick. Michael Pittman Jr., man, on the bench. Solid pick. Quishon Judkins, that's a boomer bust pick, man, because we don't know whether Quishon Judkins is going to even play this year. You know what I mean? Like, see that's the thing, man. He could be taking up valuable roster space right there. Valuable roster space. Look, I'm going to go. Let me put this back up again. My guy Efren. Salute to my guy, man. We're going to go with his starting lineup. Man, he got a hell of a starting lineup too, guys. Hey, guys, in the chat, I want you guys to rank Efren's his roster. I don't know if you guys saw the bench, guys. We're about to show a lot of the guys that he has starting, man. And, man, I'm telling you, he got a who's who. He has got a who's who over here. Jaden Daniels is starting quarterback. That's a phenomenal pick. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a top 3 quarterback this year in fantasy football and in the National Football League, if I'm being honest. Puka Nacua is a yak monster. Matthew Stafford's safety blanket. I think a lot of his production might fall a little bit with Devontae Adams. I mean, we can say we want about Devontae Adams, but the one thing about Devontae Adams is you know what you're going to get with Devontae. Devontae Adams shows up and shows out every year. Any year he's healthy and he's got a quarterback. So I think the Puka Nacua pick might hurt you a little bit. Devontae Smith is another that might hurt you a little bit too, because he has another alpha dog receiver over there with him. And then you got to understand Jaden Daniels hasn't exactly lit it up throwing the football. We're going to get some numbers for you. Now, Bijan Robinson, terrific pick, man. And Gerard Warren, man, I mean, I don't know about that. I think he could have done a little bit better. Brock Bowers, phenomenal pick. You got the pick of the litter at tight end for this year. Xavier Worthy, I think, was a kind of a wasted pick there. You're going a little bit too much on potential. And Matthew Golden is looking like he's going to round out to be wide receiver number 1 as a rookie for Jordan Love with a really balanced attack over there with the Green Bay Packers. So look for the Jaden Daniels pick, Bijan Robinson, Brock Bowers, I got to give you a B+, bro. I'm going to give you a B+. Chat, let me ask you a question, man. What do you guys think? I think that's a B+ all the way around, man. That's a B+ all the way around. That is a solid ass draft right there, man. Solid. My guy Bo Rocks is in the place. What's up, Wasted? You know, my pops once told me a scared man can't win. And I hope we don't play conservative. Let's be aggressive. We ain't got nothing to lose if we do. Now, if we're talking the Raiders, listen, and guys, I'm going to switch back and forth between the Raiders stuff too, right? But if I'm being honest, the Raiders don't have a choice but to cut it loose. The Raiders ain't going to play scared. You know, this is not a situation where we drafted some kid who can't play. You know, we got a guy that's a veteran quarterback that is fully lock and step with Chip Kelly. And you know, if the Raiders have done nothing else, they have brought in a bunch of guys who have played a lot of snaps. They brought in a bunch of guys who love football. And I can't make that any plainer. guys that love the game, man. And I'm telling you something right now. The one thing that I see from this team, no matter what, is that this team was locked in at every step of the way. And I think that is going to show in their play on the field this year. It is definitely going to show. Like, you know, when you got guys showing up for OTAs, voluntary workers, all of that stuff, that is how you turn things around. It seems like everybody in this locker room is on the same page. And that page is turning the page from a losing organization to a winning one. But salute to my guy, Bo, man. Yo, they really got a mod Instagram chat for nah, that is not why they're called Shieldmore Security, bro. They're called Shieldmore Security because I call LV Maximus the official but unofficial security for Mount Shieldmore because he always comes out to our live events, and LV Maximus is like 6'7". That is the reason why it's called Shieldmore Security, because it's a chat with LV Maximus. Stop being fucking nosy, you little douchebag. Let me make sure I put this up. Let me make sure I put this up before you in my inbox like a little stalker, doucher. The F up out of here with your crap. It's unbelievable, bro. Mind the business that pays you. So this is what I get for trying to do stuff like this, you effing douche. All right. So wait, hold on. We got my guy, Chris Mendoza, man. Oh, it's Darth Raider, my dog, man. My bad, Darth. Put you all out on Front Street like that. But yeah, I'm about to go with my man Darth Raider's joint right now, man. We about to go to Darth Raiders right now. Shout out to my guy Darth, man. Shout out to my guy Darth. I'm about to start showing this. Let me stop sharing the one. Let me get back. You guys don't have to send it to the inbox, so you guys can send it in the chat as well. All right, so my dog, Chris Darth Raider, is in the place, man. So his starting lineup is Baker Mayfield, Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chase Brown. It's a little dicey there. And Brees Hall. I'm gonna be honest with you, Darth. Chase Brown and Brees Hall. It's a little dicey there at running back, my brother. There's a little. I'm gonna be honest with you. The best running back that you got in your starting lineup is Travis Etienne, because you know he's gonna get a bunch of touches, even though he's sharing touches down there. The Philadelphia defense is phenomenal. Zay Flowers is a little dicey too, even though he projects to be a wide receiver number one with a Lamar Jackson that you never know what you're gonna get throwing the football with him. Hunter Henry, solid tight end backup. Ramondre Stevenson. You know that Ramondre Stevenson is a guy that is going to be sharing snaps. You know, they drafted a dynamic young running back out of Ohio State. Ray Davis is a solid pickup. I think Ray Davis is a guy he's another sleeper that I got this year. We're going to get into that. Marvin Mims, huge sleeper for me. Darte Thornton Jr. and Rashard White. So look, Dark, what I'm going to be honest with you, man, I got to give this one a C, bro. I got to give this one a C, bro. Got to get this one a C. My guy Dave. Brock Purdy, Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton he got KC. Omarion Hampton is on Denver, brother. RJ Harvey. So you got two rookies. Chances are one of them a ball. The other one might not be balling to the level that you expect. Drake London, phenomenal pick. Malik Neighbors, phenomenal. George Kittles, you hit it out the park there. DJ Moore, you hit it out the park there. He's wide receiver number one for Ben Johnson offense. That's going to go absolutely ape shit this year if Caleb Williams can actually play. Will Lutz will be kicking a lot of field goals this year for the Denver Broncos. They got a really good defense. We don't really know what they're going to do with Bo Nix, but he's a guy that, you know, has a hell of a leg on him. He's one of the best kickers in the league, and a Buffalo defense. This is a PPR league. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, you have a roster that at the top of the roster, I got a lot of question marks about. Got a lot of question marks, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, yo. My guy, JM, Kyler Murray, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Ashton Jeanty, Derrick Henry, Kelsey the Flex, Tony Pollard, Aubrey, and Pittsburgh's defense. JM, that roster would have been great like 3 years ago. That roster would have been phenomenal 3 years. And I think Kyler Murray is about to have a resurgence. Tyreek Hill is a guy that's kind of in flux because of the quarterback situation out there. You don't never know how they're going to do based off of how healthy Tua is. And Devontae Adams is wide receiver number 2. Stephon Diggs is just like a Lex Bubble. He was a good 3 years ago or 10 years ago. So look, man, this roster is a sneaky roster because if everybody plays in the back of their card, you can probably take your league, but you're gonna have to do a lot of wheeling and dealing on the waiver wire, man, to win your league with these guys, man. You know, if I'm being honest, you definitely are gonna have to, right? So let's get back to the rest of my top 10 guys, right? Justin Jefferson, number 6. Now, Justin Jefferson is wide receiver number 2 in the league, but fantasy-wise, I think Justin Jefferson takes a little step back because of JJ McCarthy, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, player number 7. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go absolutely crazy this year. He's going to go out. He's going to have to kind of carry that team with losing Ben Johnson. Puka Nacua, yak monster, catch monster. He's my number 8 guy. Malik Neighbors is my number 9. And 10 is Ashton Jeanty. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to be the 10th most valuable player in fantasy football. Now, Ashton Jeanty is the pick of the litter at running back. He has a super high ceiling. I have Ashton Jeanty, you know, projected of rushing for 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 377 yards receiving, man. His college production was off the charts, man. He led FBS in yardage, carries. He probably, you know, should have won the Heisman, if I'm being honest with you. He should have won the Heisman. And he probably got beat out by Army's QB, Bryson Daly on rushing TDs by like a touchdown and 2. But Jeanty averaged an absurd 185.8 yards a game. And I don't really see that metric dropping so much with the Raiders. The Raiders are in a situation where we were the worst rushing team in the National Football League. We have an old school smash mouth coach that, to be honest with you, is going to make a humongous commitment to running the football. And, you know, we have weapons in the passing game, so we won't be a one-dimensional offense. We're going to be a very, very balanced offense. I think the offense has kind of flipped this team on his head, and this Raider offense is going to be what leads this team this year, and it's going to lead us to double-digit wins this season. Now, when you start talking about supporting cast, man, defenses are in trouble. Brock Bowers, man, he posted arguably the greatest wide receiver season as a tight end ever, right? You got Jacoby Myers, who's an underrated prospect and player, right? And then the rest of the group, man, you know, Geno Smith, you know what I mean? Dante Thornton Jr., all of these guys, man, are guys that are going to take a lot of pressure off of Ashton Jeanty. So where you won't have a box that is completely stacked, you got Michael Mayers, and you have a damn good offensive line if everything is currently positive. I got Ashton Jeanty going over 1,300 yards this season, man. Guys, salute to everybody in the chat. Tell me what you guys think, man. Tell me what y'all think. Let me play the chat a little bit, guys. I've been rattling up a lot of information this show. We are going to look at some more of your squads, yo, before we get out of here. Yo, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Caleb Johnson, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Abuka, Sam Laporta, the Ravens D, and Brandon Arbery. Rate your team. That is an A team right there, bro. You are going to get so many with Josh Allen. Josh Allen by himself feeds families in fantasy football. But pillaging just for fun, that is a bro, that is a hell of a team, bro. A hell of a team. And Caleb Johnson, even though he is a rookie, I expect for him to do pretty well. I expect for him to kind of him and Tremont Henderson to be the guys that kind of follow up after Ashton Jeanty as rookies. I think he's a 900-yard back. 900-yard back, man. And Sam Laporta is sneaky good, when it comes to fantasy. He is a guy that plays at the back of his baseball card every single year. Sam Laporta is going to eat, man. A little interjection. And the Ravens defense, that's what they're known for. They're going to create turnovers. And your kicker, man, Brandon Aubrey is a guy that's got a hell of a leg on him. That is a terrific team, man. Salute to the almost 300 people in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Look, I hate the Steelers, but the Steelers are committed to running the football. Steelers are committed to running the football, and he's a very, very talented young running back, bro. Very talented young running back. I like Bucky Irvin. I got Bucky Irvin right outside of my top 5, but I like Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin is a terrific back. And also, Tampa Bay has a situation where they've located the quarterback, and they got 2 good wide receivers, decent tight end. So you really can't stack the box too bad against Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin's going to eat. Yeah, hey, Tish, it's funny, man. I didn't even log in to check my team because I couldn't get into the draft yesterday. I had a problem resetting my password, and that's the only league that I'm in this year. My family league with my friends and my family and stuff like that's the only league I'm in this year. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of thinking now that I'm kind of getting juiced up for talking some fantasy ball with you guys, I'm thinking maybe I go out here and start a league with you guys. You guys let me know if you want to start a league, man. Yeah, Spaceby, similar to Tank Bisbee. Look for him late. Same as the OC as Bucky last year. That's a fact, man. Yo, I need one for my second flex spot. PPR Dobbins, Pittman, or Cup. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love having running backs for my flex spot, but when you talk about Pittman, you talk about Cup, I trust Cooper Kupp. And I know Cooper Kupp's older than these guys and Dobbins, but Dobbins is a guy who stays hurt, right? And Cooper Kupp is a guy that I'm hearing that him and Sam Darnold have a hell of a connection out there. I think Cooper Kupp is going to eat this year. I would go Cooper Kupp for my PPR league if I can get him. But guy, Juan Nightstand, man. Burrow, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Puka, AJ Brown, Brock Bowers, Bijan. Oh my God, A+. A+, man. A+. Hey, yo, Rob, I see I see your roster. Do me a favor, type it in the chat. It's easier for me if you type it in the chat, Rob. Robert Cisneros, Dubzilla, do me a favor, bro. Put that in the chat so I can read it. It's easier for me than doing the share screen thing. It's kind of messing the flow. Rob says start one. Yeah, I think I might do it tonight, man. We're gonna start one. You guys let me know what the buy-in is. What are you guys willing to do for the buy-in? So just let me know. Let me know. Rob's gonna put it in the chat. Hey Rob, look, if you're down, guys, look, what do you guys want to do? You want to do a 12-team league? We'll do a 12-team league. We'll do a 12-team league. What you guys want to do? Like a $50 buy-in or something like that? 12-team league. Let's do a $50 buy-in. 12-team league, $50 buy-in, and I'll purchase a championship belt. Full PPR. Full PPR. I'll set the league up. We'll do the draft. You guys want to do the draft like Friday or something like that? No, I don't want to do winner takes all. Because I think if you make it to the championship game, you should get something. You should get something, right? You should get something. My guy, J.R. Rader 07, man. Quarterback. Dak, Josh Jacobs, Walker, CeeDee Lamb. See, I like how you did that handcuff thing, right? Handcuffing CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott is a dope strategy. That's a dope strategy. Dak Prescott normally If we're talking the Dak Prescott that we know is a 4,000-yard passer, at least 20, 25 touchdowns. So if you're getting double the points when CD Lamb and Dak Prescott are working together. Trey McBride, Aaron Jones is a terrific pickup. Aaron Jones is going to eat. He's going to be kind of a blanket for JJ McCarthy in Minnesota, man. Brian Branch, Jets defense, and the Bills kicker. Look, I'm gonna give you a B- there. I think you kind of fizzled out at the end of at the end. Yo, my guy Nick Blakemore, Lamar Jackson, MVP candidate, terrific pickup. Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall. This is the thing with Breece Hall, bro. Breece Hall is a guy that should already be a top 5 back in his league. He has the talent, but for whatever reasons, Breece Hall has not really gotten the touches. I got to see, look, I know Aaron Glenn is a guy that comes from the Parcells tree, right? Aaron Glenn is a guy that played for Bill Parcells, was drafted in that era. You know what I mean? A Jet through and through. He knows that he's playing in the Northeast. So I expect for the New York Jets to run the football, right? You have a quarterback that is very limited throwing the ball. So you're going to get a lot of carries, right? But a lot of the rushing yards that are going to come from the Jets this year are probably going to come from the quarterback and Justin Fields, right? So, we know that it's going to be a team that's committed to the run, but most of the time, Justin Fields is going to have to show that he can pass the football at a subsistent level to kind of get and lighten up that box. Because, man, let me tell you something. The Jets are going to be a running team. That's just clear, right? George Kittle's, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Oh, man, that's terrific. Mike Evans, you got the 2 most consistent receivers in football, Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. George Kittle, another guy that you can set your watch to. Deebo Samuels, Jacoby Myers, beautiful. Abuka, Baker on the bench. I mean, you did well. I think Deebo Samuels is a guy that, the jury's still out on Deebo. The jury's out on Deebo. It depends on what kind of shape Deebo's in, man. If I'm being honest. It depends on what kind of shape Deebo said. We don't know what Deebo we're going to get, man. We don't know what Deebo we're going to get. Now, the Breece Hall thing, and I want to get back to this, man. He has the ability, man, to really, really go nuts this year. He really does, man. Now, I got him projected under 1,000 yards this season. I know some people might say that's a little light, but across 16 games, Hall racked up 876 yards. He had 54.7 yards a game, man, 483 yards receiving, and that's where most of his value comes in from a fantasy perspective, right? Total 8 touchdowns, 5 rushing, 3 receiving. Hall's 15.1 PPR points per game marked as a career low. He's slotted as the 16th guy in PPR leagues. But I see with Aaron Glenn being the coach, I see that changing a lot. The Jets are guaranteed to do more work on the ground, right? But his efficiency metrics are kind of abysmal, right? He's 37th out of 47 qualifying running backs, right? And he's 23rd in yards after contact. His elusive rate is 26th in Pro Football Focus. His rushing yards over expected per attempt is 28th. His PPR receiving yards is 34th out of 37, and his yards per run is 19th. So, he hasn't really wowed. I mean, Breece Hall was really supposed to be in the conversation of his Saquon Barkley when he came out. And Hall is like one of the 4 running backs that averaged 30-plus receiving yards per game in each of his last 3 seasons. So most of his value comes as a receiver, to be honest with you, man. Now, he sustained an ACL tear in 2022, and maybe that put a little damper on his career and the arc of his career. But let me tell you something. Justin Fields is entering a situation after, leaving Pittsburgh where this is the last stop for Justin Fields to prove what kind of quarterback he is going to be in this league, man. And shout out to my guy Nick Blakemore, man, for the $5 holler, man. Appreciate you, bro. Dan Tesser, Amari Cooper kind of looks like coming in overweight. Look, Amari Cooper and Tesser, look, if we're being honest, man, we're both older guys, right? We got a lot more wisdom and gray on our faces than a lot of others, right? As you get older, it's harder for you doing the same things to keep weight off of you. It just is. It just is. It is harder to keep weight off of you. So I am not really tripping on Amari Cooper. I think that Amari Cooper, has that grown man frame right now. But he looks quick to me, right? From what I've seen of Amari Cooper, he looks quick. He looks like he's getting out of his breaks. He is a pretty much a surgeon when it comes to route running, right? The only thing Amari Cooper does from time to time is he drops the football. But I think that you are going to get a very good version of Amari Cooper as an older player because of the way Geno Smith throws the football. And they have that connection. They're both, South Florida guys. They have a relationship. I think this is the best case scenario for Amari Cooper to finish his career. A lot of the times when Coop would drop the ball and stuff when Derek was here, a lot of times it was because of ball placement. It was because of ball placement, man. I'm going to be honest. I'm not blaming DC because I know a lot of you guys think I'm a DC hater, and I'm not. But if we're being honest here, a lot of times Amari Cooper was not going to go up and catch a hospital ball. He just wasn't going to do it. That ain't what kind of receiver he is. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, Alex Rebel Rojas, man. This is my dog, man. My dog, man. Nobody supports more than Alex Rebel Rojas on fantasy, on social media. Okay. Jalen Hurts, Jeanty, Nico Collins, J-Mo, Khalil Shakir, DeAndre Swift, Tyler Warren, Flex, Jordan Mason, Dicker the kicker, and the Jets defense. Alex Rebel Rojas, I'm going to tell you, I got to give you a C. I don't know how much you're going to light it up with Jalen Hurts. Jeanty's a rookie. We don't know what we're going to get from him. I know what I think we're going to get from him. I think that was a Raider homer call. Nico Collins, is a kid who always pretty much produces. Williams, we're going to have to see what that offense looks like in Detroit without Ben Johnson. Khalil Shakir is kind of mid to me. DeAndre Swift is a running back too. If I've ever seen one. To me, he's a pretty good running back too. But I think maybe when you picked him, you probably could have got a little bit better value. Tyler Warren is going to be an absolute beast. Jordan Mason getting some good value there. Dicker the kicker, good value there. And the Jets defense, I think, is going to be middle of the road, man. Halo said, at 42, it ain't easy to stay in shape. No, it ain't. My guy, Alex, man, I ain't mean to do it to you. My guy, Rob Cisneros, man. Let me see where yours is at. Okay, now, like my guy, Rob, what's crazy, man? I know it hurts you because I know how much, like, Robert Cisneros loves the Raiders. We all love the Raiders, right? But Robert is a diehard fan, right? I know it was hard for you to take Justin Herbert, bro. I know it. And, bro, you could even see with this dude's roster. Look what Rob did, man. Rob and Hug D's did the same thing, right? They took 2 Raider running backs because I don't give a shit what anybody says. Josh Jacobs is still a Raider to us. He's always going to be a Raider, right? So you got Herbert, Sherbert, Jeanty, terrific pick. You got to pick it a little out of rookies. Josh Jacobs is a top 5 back in this league. Mike Evans, let me tell you, you can set your watch to Mike Evans. DK Metcalf is the problem. Now, DK Metcalf, if we're being honest, right? We don't really necessarily. Now, if Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, then this is a great pickup. But Aaron Rodgers, man, needs to realize something. And we just spoke about this a little earlier. Father Time is undefeated, man. Father Time is unfreaking defeated. So we got to see whether it was the New York Jets or whether it's Father Time rearing his ugly head with Aaron Rodgers, man. This is what we need to see. Tyler Warren, terrific pickup. I think he's going to be tight end number 3 in fantasy football this year. Emeka Egbuka and Garrett Wilson, terrific flex player. Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver number 1 on a lot of people's teams, man. Even though Justin Fields is not the best thrower of the football, I think most of his touchdown throws and production as a passer is going to come at the foot of Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is a guy that's going to produce no matter who's there. He's just that kind of receiver, man. And Carlson and the Denver defense, terrific. What a Raider homer call right there, but I love it, man. I got to give this a B+, bro. Got to give it a B+, man. I mean, what do you guys think about Robert Cisneros' roster, man? Yeah, Bodega Waste to give you props. Rob's about to cook with that lineup, except Metcalf. You know the thing about that, though? If we being honest, there's always a young rookie wide receiver that's going to be on the waiver wire that Rob can pick up. And if DK Metcalf is not really doing well, he can bring some guys in and kind of filter them in. There's a lot of young receivers. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that a lot of people don't have. I'm going to give you guys a sleeper. Now, I kind of been rating you guys as teams. Let me give you guys some information and not affirmation, right? Let me give you a little information and not affirmation. So listen, I'm going to give you guys some sleepers, man. I'm going to give you guys some sleepers. Take it to the bank. Get your pen out. Write it on down, man. But sleeper running backs, we're going to start position-wise. Braylon Allen from the New York Jets is going to get a lot of touches. And this is one of the reasons why the Breece Hall pick is a little dicey, because I think Braylon Allen kind of fits that mold of that bell cow bruising running back. I think he's going to pick a lot of cheap touchdowns up because he's going to be the short yardage guy. He's going to be kind of like the Michael Push to your Darren McFadden, right? Ja'Cory Koski Merritt is another guy that in Washington that is going to eat more than you think. J.K. Dobbins in Denver. Now, listen, Amarion Hampton is a rookie, but the sure hand is J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins is a guy that is probably going to get a 60-40 split in carries. I don't necessarily think that Sean Payton is just going to – he's never been the kind of play caller who just rides one particular back. The only one that I've seen him do that with is oh my God, what is this kid's name? He's phenomenal. What is the kid from the Saints from Alabama? What is that kid's name? He's phenomenal. He catch the ball, he run. Forget the kid's name, Alabama. You guys are gonna put it in the chat. Jaden Blue from Dallas. Take it to the bank. He is going to be running back number 1 in Dallas eventually. Nick Chubb always produces in Houston. He's a good guy to have on your bench. He is a good flex player too. Now, Nick Chubb, I'm telling you right now, this is a guy that wins leagues for you. This is the kind of player that a lot of people are going to overlook because he is no longer on the Browns, and we really don't know exactly what kind of role he is going to play in Houston. But Nick Chubb, like your life depended on it. Nick Chubb, like your life depended on it. Ollie Gordon the second in Miami. He is going to be the bell cow running back down there. That might be another. You guys know how much I loved Ollie Gordon coming out of Oklahoma State. That is a great sleeper pick. And guys, Ashton Eckler is one of the better waiver wire pickups that you can have right here. Ashton Eckler is one of these guys who just is consistently, an 800 to 900 yard back, couple cheap touchdowns. Good guy to have on your roster. Kyle Monagi, sleeper. And Jerome Ford out of Cleveland, man. Now, when we talking about sleeper wide receivers, I'm going to start and begin with Jaden Higgins out of Houston. This is a kid that is going to be super productive, and the cool thing about him, he has his bye week right smack dab in the middle of the season in week 6. So, for the rest of the season, he is a guy that can help you win your league if you have some injuries at the end. Marvin Mims Jr. Is another sleeper. DeMario Douglas out of New England. I think he's a guy that has a pretty good connection with Drake May. Hopefully he doesn't get off against us. Kyle Williams from New England as well. A lot of people in the fantasy world are thinking that, Drake May is going to go absolutely bonkers this year. This is going to be his breakout year. It remains to be seen. Let's hope it doesn't happen in week 1. Cedric Tillman of Cleveland. Marquise Brown. Patrick Mahomes throws a lot of touchdowns, and he's going to have to throw them to somebody. Marquise Brown is a guy that, from fantasy perspective, you got to have some of those Chiefs on your roster because, Patrick Mahomes is on a revenge tour this year, even though I don't think they're going to do as well as they did last year. Like I said yesterday, man, that was the worst 15-2 team I've ever seen in my life. And I think they're going to fall off the cliff a little bit. A lot of those close games aren't going to go their way. They won 5 one-score games last year. In the fourth quarter. So Rashad Bateman out of Baltimore is a perfect bye week wide receiver, nice little sleeper. Joshua Palmer from Buffalo is a sleeper. He's not somebody that is completely draftable, but if you're at the back end of your league and you need some depth, this is a good guy to pick up. And Wan'Dale Robinson from the New York Giants, man. Wan'Dale Robinson, you have a veteran quarterback there with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is going to spread the football around, even though it is a Malik Neighbors world with the New York Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt are 2 guys that you guys need to pick up as sleepers. Now, we talk about fantasy quarterbacks. It begins and ends with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a guy that can throw for 5,000 yards at any given season. He is not as good as Dallas think, but he's not as bad as fans of other teams think. Dak Prescott, when healthy, is a top 10 quarterback in his league. Drake May is the guy that I just told you. Drake May is going to feed families. And then, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to get into, sleepers at quarterback, look none other than the former number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a guy that he's due to break out. This is a contract year coming up for him. Trevor Lawrence needs to break out. And I think I could be wrong about that. I think they gave Trevor Lawrence his money already, if I'm not mistaken. You guys correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. CJ Stroud, I don't necessarily know if he's a sleeper. Some people kind of got off the CJ Stroud train because he kind of fell off the cliff a little bit last year. But CJ Stroud is going to come back in a big, big way. He's going to have a assortment of his weapons, and I think they're going to make a push to win their division. Now, with tight ends, Tyler Warren out of Indianapolis, a lot of people have been picking him. He is a sleeper to people not in the know, but it seems like I have the most knowledgeable, chat and YouTube history. You guys know Tyler Warren, my number 1 biggest sleeper tight end. Benton Strange out of Jacksonville. Kyle Pitts. This is the year where I think Kyle Pitts really realizes his potential, man. Kyle Pitts with Michael Penix Jr. starting the year, having a whole offseason being a starting quarterback, kind of getting acclimated to the National Football League. This is going to be a coming out party for both of these guys together. Of course, Zach Ertz has always, you can set your watch to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is always going to give you wide receiver 1 and high-end wide receiver 2 value. And Mason Taylor, man. Mason Taylor, the young fella, man, out of LSU, man, with the New York Jets. You're going to have a heavy run contingency with the New York Jets. So, look, man, I'm telling you right now, this is a guy that you definitely want to pick up and sit on the bench, man. And Colston Loveland definitely is another guy too, man. Shout out to everybody out here, man. Hollywood Brown's a walking injury, but when he's on the field, he produces, man. Telling you right now, salute to everybody, man, in the chat, yo. Raider Geo, just do the opposite of what Oasis says and you'll win. Raider Geo, you know what you can do? You can do the opposite of what I want you to do. I want you to stay here, but I think you need to get the F up out of here with your...
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
F up out of my chat with that crap. Raider Geo, who the F asked you, man?
What's the tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing?
My God, I'm up here giving you information and not affirmation. You come in with your crap. It's too late for that. You effing bum. I mean, what the F is wrong with you up in here? Picking Pittsburgh is like falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You love bananas in the tailpipe, Marvin Lewis. Get the F up out of here with your crap. My guy, Miguel. I'm just kidding around, Marv. I'm joking, man. Yo, what do you think our defense will look like? I feel like we have no depth and it's scary. I feel like you're right. And this is the thing. If we did have a lot of depth, we'd be contending for a Super Bowl in year 1. If we did, right? We're going to have to establish that depth based off of, banking on young players. It is very scary. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you guys Marvin Lewis is right. He's right. He is right. Shout out to my guy, Marv. But I can't sit up here and tell you what I think the defense is going to do until I see some of what these young guys do this year. This is a situation where we are banking on potential, and potential and the currency of hope can leave you bankrupt at times. The currency of hope could leave you bankrupt. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see, man. We're going to have to see, man. Say, wait, so how do I feel about this season? Hitman Raider, look, man. We're going to get to a little Raider stuff right now, but look, man, I feel like just by the law of, not just the law of averages, right? But based off of what happened, I can only deal with tangibles. I can deal with what I know, right? We've gotten substantially better at the most important position on the field. This is what we know, right? Geno Smith. Then running back. We're a bottom feeding team and running the football. We have invested in the running game in a major way. So that is another improvement, right? We have it looks like a second-year phenom in Brock Bowers, along with a guy who was almost as highly touted coming out of college named Michael Mayer. So you have two high-end tight end guys in that room, right? So this offense with an offensive line where you have a young guard, two young guards that look like they're starters, right? You have a right tackle that is looking like he is a starter, and you have a left tackle that you know is a starter. The only difference is, and this is my thing, the center. Jordan Meredith is the straw that stirs the drink for this entire offense. If Jordan Meredith can play the center position at a level that's high enough to deem him being at center besides Jackson Powers Johnson, then we are cooking with gas here with this offense. RJ Harvey is a handcuff. Dobbins almost guaranteed to get injured. I hate to say it. Big Mike Rader with his effing negativity. Get the F up out of here, Big Mike. What the F is wrong?
Shut your lame ass.
F up out of here, Big Mike. Now he does get hurt every season. Yo. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Salute. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. It's a high-end tight end. It's plausible. You know what? You know what the F is up with you, Dan Tesser? You know the F is up with you. You're coming here and you're taking a family show and you're effing ruining it, man. I mean, God. Wow. Out of here. It's a family show. Tony Collins, in 43 years, I've learned to keep my expectations tempered, but I think this team is at least heading in a good direction. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for, yo. That is all you can ask for, man. That's right. It's a family show. You get your crap up out of here. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. We've been cooking for almost an hour with this. Guys, hold on. Let me ask you guys a question. Get your fantasy questions in. Is there anything else you guys want to hear? Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to do more fantasy content throughout the year along with the Raider content. Guys, listen, I have my other channel in the chat. Do me a favor, CGR, Anthony, one of you guys, right? Big Mike, somebody, please. Do I have a wrench in here anywhere, man? Because you guys know I'm terrible at freaking getting I'm gonna go on YouTube. I gotta find, my channel, Game Day Guru. I need you guys to go on over there. Go on over there and subscribe. Game Day Gurus. Let me see. I'm gonna share the channel. Going over to Game Day Gurus, man. We got 3 watching from the channel. It's a putrid showing out of the Game Day Gurus. Right there. Do you guys see it in the chat? That, my friends, is the Game Day Gurus link. Go on over there, send it out, share this thing out to all social media, and everybody who can hear the sound of my voice, please go on over there and subscribe to that channel as well, man. We're trying to make things move and shake. Big Mike, appreciate you, bro. My guy Marv with the $2 holla, man. Pick one to start. C. Williams, J.J. McCarthy, or C.J. C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is the safest bet there. He's a guy that we know can play at this league. J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams, it's very, very boom or bust. We don't know what they are. We know C.J. Stroud is a guy who can throw for 4,000 yards, man. 4,000 yards, man. So, yeah. What round do you have, Bud? About Thunder, Canelo? Nah, I got Bud winning that fight. I have him winning by a unanimous decision. I have him outclassing Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him stopping Canelo. I do see him dropping Canelo. I think it's going to be a rough and tumble fight. He's not going to avoid Canelo. Canelo has never been knocked out before. You know what I'm saying? So, I see him outclassing him kind of in a way, not the same way that Floyd Mayweather did, but it's going to be a little different. I think it's going to be clear and definitive that Bud wins that fight, though. Yeti Strain is smoking records, man. Appreciate it, my guy, Big Mike, man. Appreciate it, man. Yo, Anthony doesn't have a wrench. He definitely shouldn't be mentioned. Anthony is a bum. It's a effing bum. I just got Ashton Jeanty at the 12th pick. Fucking stoked. That's just because you're a Raider. Yeah, man. Yo, but you guys are yo. You said Crawford never felt power like Canelo. That's not true. You know, listen, let me tell you something, man. One, Errol Spence Jr. hits like a goddamn truck. Errol Spence Jr. was the hardest hitter in the gym that he came out of Houston. Both of the Charlo brothers. And then, if we're being honest, you guys got to understand something. You know, and I don't want to talk about boxing. This is fantasy football. But Bud has been sparring bigger guys his whole career, sparring heavyweights and stuff like that. Bud's going to be fine with that power, man. Oh, look, I missed the super. My bad. Yo, my guy, JR. Justin Fields, Nico Collins, George Pickens, Saquon Barkley, Brown, Ingram, Cook, Bates, Buffalo, Jacoby Myers on the bench, Pollard, RJ Harvey, Garrett. Oh, my God, you got a terrific team. I get that team an A, bro. Terrific team, bro. That's a terrific team, bro. Yo, my guy, Alex Rojas. Hey, I'm happy. I got Jeanty too. Shit, my friend who's a KC fan would have gotten him. He drafted right after me. Yeah. I love getting my I try to stay away from Raiders when I play fantasy football and when I gamble because I can't take my heart out of it. You know what I'm saying? Geno's accuracy with thread the needle with back shoulder throws surprised me so much. Can't wait to see if this offense. If nothing else, this offense is going to be exciting because Geno Smith is a top 5 quarterback indoors. He's a top 5 quarterback indoors, man. And we do play indoors, right? So half of his games will be indoors, and he has other games indoors as well. So Geno Smith is going to feed families this year. And also, one of his outside games, a lot of his outside games, like going and playing in Washington, right? Going and playing in New England. These are going to be good weather games because they're early in the season, right? So I think Geno Smith is going to feed families, man. I really do. The Rams game, indoor game, not the Rams game, but the Chargers game, indoor game, right? So that's another this is starting to shape up in a very good manner for the Raiders, man. Very good manners. Yeti Strain, Jaden Daniels, Arcane, Alvin Kamara. That's the name I was looking for before. Devontae Adams, J-Mo, Brock Bowers. Hunter defense, the Eagles kicker, Tyler Back. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's a B minus right there because Kamara is not the same player. Like if we were talking about Alvin Kamara 3 years ago, Devontae Adams 3 years ago, you're kind of drafting from a mindset that is not conducive to today, right? My guy Miguel with the $10 sticker, man. Appreciate you, man. Yo, my guy, JR65, 10-man full PPR, 3 out of 10. I missed on Jeanty and Bowers, but I ended up with Jacoby. Well, look, man, that might not be. If I'm being honest, man, I'm not expecting for Jacoby Myers to have the production he had last year, and it's one of two reasons. One, we are not as thin at wide receiver. We have a way better running back this year. We have a better quarterback who's not going to force the ball at Jacoby Myers. And we have an emerging Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. I see Jacoby Myers being a 700-yard receiver, if I'm being honest, man. I'm staying away from Jacoby unless he is a guy that I'm putting on the bench. Now, you guys are saying that Geno is the second best quarterback in the AFC West. It remains to be seen. I like Geno, right? But, Justin Herbert and all of these guys, they got him ranked over Justin Herbert. Let's see. Let's see, man. Said, wasted going night type. Trying to pull a train back into the train station. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I agree. Geno top 2 in the division, but based on the conference and experience for me, talent is good enough for sure. That's a fact. But, guys, what's been great? This show has been great. I gave you some information, not some affirmation. We got a lot of talking points in. This is something that we're workshopping. That's something I have not done a lot. We're going to continue to do this over the season, man. If you guys like this, man, do me a favor, leave all your comments. Let me know how you feel. Hey, guys, up in the chat, I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. It's my second channel, Game Day Gurus. I really, I know we ask for support a lot, man. I really appreciate you guys doing some of the things you do. I have it highlighted. Do me a favor. Go on over there, hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing, man. Go on over there and subscribe to the Game Day Gurus channel. And guys, listen, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Yo, my guy Big Mike put it up there again, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you guys like that, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and let me know what's up. Hey, Bo Rock, if there's a way both of them could lose, I would want both of them to lose. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime the Queefs lose, I'm happy. We're chasing the Queefs. We ain't chasing the Chargers. The Chargers don't have nothing we want. The Chiefs are the ones that have been in the Super Bowl. Chiefs are the ones that are starting to get them sticky Lombardis. So I want the Chiefs to lose 100. If they could lose every game, I'd be happy. F the Chargers, but it's the Chiefs for me. But guys, thank you guys for pulling up. Man, we got almost 400 in the room for a fantasy football show. That is absolutely insane. At 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. I'm about to go to bed. I got to get up in the morning, man. Yo, do me a favor. Go on over there. Get that second channel rocking for me, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a terrific night. We will be back tomorrow. Guys, we got a good one for you tomorrow. Raider Nation Unlimited. Sanjit is pulling up tomorrow. It is going to be Wasted and Sanjit. Listen, you guys didn't ask for it, but guess what? We are here to give it to you, man. Me and Sanjit will be rocking tomorrow. You do not want to miss it, y'all. Much love, y'all. We're going to lock in, y'all. Peace. And yo, don't forget to, before the game on Sunday, Big Mike Raider and Wasted Talent, we do our show every morning. I used to call it Wake Up with Wasted, but now it will be called something. I'm gonna name the show something, right? Me and Mike are gonna, but it's gonna be Wasted, Big Mike Raider on both channels. We're gonna go over prop bets, fantasy, gambling. We're gonna break the game down, and it's gonna be great. And then you guys know after every game, I always do the post game wrap up. So guys, lock in. Sunday is gonna be a Zuby. It is the first freaking week of the season, and I'm so glad that football is back. Love y'all, man. Look. Hey, yo, he said, Sanji says Stone is better than Bumford. It is what it is, man. But you guys have a great day. Anthony, you are blocked. Tony Cunyo is on the way out. Lamar Jackson, Chase Brown, Chubba Hubbard, CeeDee Lamb, Emeka Ibuka Flex, Trayvon Henderson, Colston Loveland, Lutz. The Texas defense is excellent. His bench, Parcells, a great pick. Matthew Golden, Dante Thornton-Crab. You got a lot of potential on that roster. I got to give you a B- because you don't have a lot of definites on that, right? You got a lot of young guys that we don't know how they're going to play. But guys, we are going to get up out of here, man. Y'all have a terrific night, man. Peace.